Let's dive into the world of luxury, bespoke travel. Imagine experiencing the wildest, most remote corners of the globe, all while enjoying the finest comforts and personalized service. From private safaris in Africa to bespoke expeditions in the polar regions, the luxury travel industry has been gaining popularity among travelers looking for unforgettable high-end experiences. Joining us today to talk more about this is a true pioneer in this field, co-founder of A2A Safaris, Victor Dizon. His company has been creating bespoke safari experiences for more than 2 decades, taking adventure to a whole new level. Welcome, and thanks for being here, Binky.
Thanks. Thanks for inviting me.
Okay, Binky, you were an investment banker for 18 years. You worked in Hong Kong, Singapore, London, New York, with the biggest names, Morgan Stanley, Standard Chartered. What made you decide to go in another direction, in the direction of bespoke luxury travel?
Well, I first traveled to Africa about 25 years ago as a tourist, and after that first trip, I just fell in love with the place, kept going back there. And at some point in my banking career, I took a sabbatical and worked as a conservationist in Africa. And I realized then I just had a strong passion for the place and wanted to do something there. Initially, we were planning to build or buy or build our own safari lodge and bring Asian clients there, but through, I guess, an iterative process, we decided, with advice from some partners there, that it was better to just build a bespoke luxury travel company like A2A and bring our clients from Asia and introduce them to the African safari.
How did your exposure, 18 years in investment banking, how did that shape the direction of A2A Safaris?
It helped in the sense that, I guess, our initial clients were a lot of people from the financial services industry and also clients whom we had dealt with over the course of the year. So that really was, helped bring us up from the beginning, because we were really a startup from day one.
Yeah, from that startup, from day one, that was 22 years ago in 2002. Can you talk to us about the evolution of A2A Safaris in terms of the offerings that you have and the brand that you've built?
As mentioned, when we started 22 years ago in Hong Kong, we literally started in the garage of my business partner there. And we just focused solely on Africa, even, in fact, just one part of Africa at the very beginning, just Southern Africa. Over the years, we've grown. We now have offices in 5 countries, 4 countries in Asia and in the United States. And we've expanded our offerings to include the entirety of Africa. And about 10 years ago, we expanded our destination footprint to include Latin America, Antarctica, and just this year, our first foray into wild Asia, which is India.
Okay, really interesting. Binky, a lot of people do this on their own, A lot of people book their own trips and do all that legwork. What is the value, what is the benefit of working with someone such as A2A Safaris for a bespoke experience?
Okay, I think there are many values that a company like ours can add. I guess first and foremost is the knowledge and expertise that we have about the place. Now you have the internet, it's full of information, but it's actually a problem where it's too much information, and then your ability to discern what is correct, what is incorrect. So that's, I think, a huge amount of value we bring to you. The other one is access. We have access to the best guides, the best experiences, special places, things that a lot of people are not even aware of. So again, those are the values that we can bring to the table. Plus, I think what we also do is the convenience. It's like a one-stop shop. You're dealing with one person, and we have a concierge service 24/7. Any problems during the planning of the trip, while you're on the trip, we're there. We're a phone call away or a WhatsApp away.
Yeah, my family was in that boat last year, and we were like, okay, we've never gone to Africa. Let's go to Africa. How are we going to do this? We're going to go so far, and it's everybody's schedules, and we want to make sure we get it right. So we went with A2A, and it was an unforgettable experience.
Thank you. That's great.
All right. So what are the emerging trends you're seeing in this industry? Talk to us about that, Binky.
Yeah, I think one thing we're seeing now is, especially post-pandemic, people are staying longer in one place rather than doing 3 places for 3 nights each. They may just do 1 place for 7 nights or 6 nights. The other thing related to that is people are now looking for, I would say, deeper or more immersive experiences alongside those long stays. No, I think that's really an emerging trend we're seeing, which plays to our strengths and the ability to deliver these unique experiences in special places.
How immersive is immersive?
I guess it all depends. No, like on safari, immersive can be your I guess basic safari in quotation marks is you go on a drive, you go on a boat, etc. But now you have immersive experiences where you can actually go out with the researchers, spend time with them, maybe help dart certain animals, take samples like blood samples and whatnot. So on the safari side, those are examples of much more immersive experiences one can do, or even coloring endangered species, for instance, or tracking them. No.
Off the beaten track completely in terms of experiences. Now, Binky, in terms of bespoke personal travelers, what's the best marketing strategy? How do you get these people to book their trips with A2A Safaris?
I think what has been we've found most effective is really what we call repeats and referrals, because our job is really to deliver the best possible service and experience to our clients. And what we've found is when we are successful in that, people just on their own, they like talking about their experiences, they tell their friends about it, and for us that's the best endorsement. So if someone comes to us and say, I was referred by, like say, by Maiki or what, I think half the battle is won because credibility is already there.
Okay. Now, speaking of experiences, what was your most memorable travel experience, and how did that shape the direction of what you do at A2A Safaris?
I would have to say it's probably that very first trip I took to Africa over 25 years ago. I still remember that because I went by myself. No one wanted to travel me to Africa at that point in time, but I took a risk. I went, and I fell in love with it. It started my love affair with Africa, and it truly changed my life because it's really what led me to leave my finance career and embark on this new journey in my life. No?
Okay, now A2A Safaris has offices in Hong Kong, Singapore, and Thailand, and mainly you bring Asians to exotic places around the world. Now, can you talk to us about what you've noticed in terms of consumer preferences? What are the destinations that have become most popular? What are the types of experience that are most popular for Asians seeking exotic excursions?
Well, for the Asian market, I think one thing we noticed for them, what continues to be very important is the quality of the lodgings. So we make sure, that's always been one of our hallmarks, to make sure, because we're bringing them to unfamiliar places, and to make the fact it's very important they're in comfortable environments. And once they're there, we're able to take them then out of their comfort zones with regards to experiences. Funny enough, for the Asian shopping continues to be an important part. So even though you're in these exotic or wilderness destinations, we'll try to weave in a little bit of shopping for clients, and then cuisine. I think that's something, what we find for the Asian traveler, the food and beverage to some extent is very important to them. So we make sure we cater to that, whether they want to eat Asian food sometimes during their trip or particular kinds of drinks, we make sure that's taken care of as well. Nice.
Okay. Now, in terms of the demand for travel, how do you see the demand for luxury travel changing over the next 5 to 10 years?
From the Asian side, the source side on Asia, we are very bullish and optimistic there because I think the wealth creation in Asia continues to grow, and has been and continues to be a strong propensity for travel among the affluent segment in Asia. And the good thing is, I think they're in some sense running out of places to go to. They've done Europe multiple times, and United States, places like Japan, they go to year in, year out. And so they're looking for new places, and I think that's new experiences, and that really plays to what we do.
Speaking of what you do, Pinky, you're in the business of showing Filipinos, Asians, the world. On the flip side, how can we get foreign tourists to want to come to the Philippines and to see everything that we have here?
Yeah, I think we can look to Africa in terms of a playbook. Now you have places like Rwanda or Botswana, which are relatively obscure. Where are they in the map? And their infrastructure is not necessarily the best. I mean, we have better infrastructure, to be quite honest, in the Philippines. But I think what they do well is in terms of logistics. When you get there, to move around the country and from place to place is very easy. So it makes the travel experience in country very seamless. And I think that's one thing I find that's somewhat challenging in the Philippines. We've got fantastic natural places like our beaches, our mountains, but to get around from one place to another is still a bit challenging. So I think that's where we can learn from in terms of how to make it easier to move around.
And apart from the logistics, the marketing push is fantastic. Africa does a great job of marketing the continent to the world.
That's correct. And I think it's how the message is very much, on theme or on brand, like places like Botswana. They highlight the nature, the exclusivity and beauty of the place. So I think that's something the Philippines can also, take a page from. Focus on one thing and just keep hammering at it.
The nature, the beauty, and the exclusivity of a Philippine experience.
I agree.
Right.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for being here with us, Pinky, and telling us all about your A2A journey.
Okay. Thank you too.
All right. That was Victor Dizon, the co-founder of A2A Safaris.